Welcome back to my channel. We are going to do an easy skull look for all of you guys who procrastinate your Halloween look and haven't been thinking about it months in advance. So I got you. Don't worry about it. If you want to recreate this look or see how I created this look, just keep watching. So we're gonna go ahead and put our hair back, and as I've already done here, and white foundation is really difficult to find, so I went ahead and saw this foundation mixing pigment, which I just put two and two together. If it goes in my foundation, I could probably make a foundation out of it, so why not? So I'm going to take some and put it on the back of my hand. There goes four, quattro. And I'm gonna go in. This really is like one of my throwaway brushes, so I'm just gonna stamp that right there, and I'm gonna buff it in. And we're gonna go down our neck too. Why, you ask? Why not? We're gonna zoom you in a little bit. I'm gonna buff that down our necks. Now we're gonna go ahead and use this beauty blender that I use for basically all of my FX makeup. And yes, is this sanitary? No. However, I'm gonna still do that though. So we're gonna go ahead and buff this in. Now you're probably asking me, why aren't you doing your eyes? Because I'm gonna shade it in as black anyways, so why? So we're gonna go ahead and just buff it in so it looks as cohesive as possible, Yeah. Now, since that went ahead and already dried, I'm gonna go ahead and squirt more and go over it. We're gonna go in with the Coty Airspun in Naturally Neutral. Now, a lot of people love the translucent. However, the translucent is a little bit pink for me, so I absolutely love this natural because it has a little bit of a yellow tint to it, but not really. So we're gonna go ahead and set the face. I'm gonna go ahead and take the little so there we are. That. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take this Wet n Wild. I know it looks dirty, but we're gonna take this Wet n Wild concealer brush and we are going to make our lines. Now, all this had was a little bit of this brownie bite from the It's My Ray Ray BH Cosmetics. I'm so sorry, Ray Ray. But this has come through it, as you can tell. I absolutely love it. So now we're gonna go ahead and imitate the same exact thing on this side. So once you get both sides very, very even, we're gonna go ahead with this blending crease brush by Wet n Wild that you can just get at Dollar Tree. We're gonna blend down. Now, because we also want to blend this up and make this as chiseled as possible, we're gonna go ahead and just blend it. Because as much as we don't like it, we're gonna go back in with this just to fix it up. And as you can see, it's like extremely easy because the more you clean it up, I have some still on the back of my hand, the more chiseled it looks and the more it stands out. So then you're gonna take a little bit that you have on the edge and you're just gonna bring this on the high points of the cheeks on the opposite side of this cheekbone highlight, and just highlight it. So what this does is it brings out the cheekbones a lot more. Okay. Going back in with that same exact crease brush. We're going to do a line up our brows. Okay. And the same way it goes right here. Now remember, you don't have to keep this perfectly. It just needs to look like your frown. Oh! Just frown. And follow the line. From there, I'm gonna buff it out. The more you buff it out and feather it out, you see how that works? It looks a whole lot more dimensional. And all you have to do is just pat. I have just used one color so far. So we're gonna pat. Don't do that because it's gonna mess up your mouth. Ah! So now, going back in with that, we are going into these shades right here and a little bit of this red shade right there. And the orange shade. You're gonna mix all these colors to give you dimension. Go back into your Wet n Wild and blend. Once you have that a little bit blended out, go back into the orange and the red and a little bit of Control Freak. And I'm gonna make it swallow. After we blend more. So, I know what you're thinking. Why so much? Because we need a blend.
A key component to this look is blending out or blending the colors together. So just keep that in mind. There is a lot of blending to this look.
Now, go back into what we have on the back of our hands, and you're gonna bring this cheekbone up. Okay. So put some more on the back and pat it out. Okay, so once we have that, we're gonna go into the high points of our head, where we would usually, contour. And with what we already had on the brush from blending out so much, we're gonna go into these high points and crevices. Now, go back in with the brown, like 2 brown that I told you that we were gonna use, but haven't yet. These 2. So, take a angled brush, go into the brown that we have already been using, and do as such. Now I'm going to go in with this detail brush, okay? By BH Cosmetics, it's the 1 through 2, I'm dyslexic, brush. And now we're gonna go into the black and we're gonna shade around the nose, like on the outskirts of it. Could go in with a detail brush and just detail this. Okay, now since we've already gone in with this detail brush, we're going to take another detail brush. Ooh, put a little bit more white on our hands. Make a fine point with it. And once you just go around the sides of it, just pat it out. Okay, we have our nose done. Now we have my favorite part, lips. Steady hand. All the way in. We're gonna go back into the eye studio. There we go. Get our brow liner brush and go into it. And we're gonna press like this on both sides so that it creates a very fine line. Close that up.
Now we're just gonna go ahead and line the inner part of the lip. You wanna try and make this as thin as possible. However, understand that as you make this line, all the lines on the bottom lip start to look very short. So we're gonna go back in and just lengthen these on the And it was at this moment that I noticed that all of the white on the back of my hand also got onto my face. So we're just gonna blend that out with the beauty blender, which should just even out perfectly.
So with that, we're gonna set it. Some black eyeshadow. So with that, have a very happy Halloween. I hope this look was easy enough for you to recreate. Remember to set anything you use a liquid with. It's very important so that your look can look flawless throughout the whole entire night. Be safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll see you here next time for our Thanksgiving looks.